Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the mind-bending science of how your brain is actively hiding the real world from you. We're going to unpack some incredible insights from the illusion of sight and look at the invisible, behind-the-scenes choices your mind makes every single day, completely without your permission. So let's set the stage here. Have you ever been waiting in line at a coffee shop or maybe just sitting on a crowded bus and you suddenly turn around because you physically felt someone staring right at you? They were completely out of your line of sight, but you turn and boom, you lock eyes. It's a wildly common human experience, and honestly, it's the absolute perfect place for us to start. Which brings us to Section 1, the sixth sense mystery. And to actually solve that mystery, we need to jump right into Section 2, the high-def camera myth. Okay, to really understand how your brain decides what you actually get to see in any given moment, we've got to shatter a pretty massive assumption. We all kind of walk around assuming our eyes are like these flawless 4K video cameras capturing everything in perfect high definition. But the reality, it is shockingly restricted. Your true area of visual focus is actually tiny. Like, imagine holding your thumb out at arm's length. See that thumbnail? That tiny little space is the absolute limit of your actual high-def reality. Crazy, right? Now, in the scientific world, this highly restricted, ultra-sharp area is known as foveal vision. So if your sharp focus is only the size of a thumbnail at arm's length, that means literally everything else, everything outside of that tiny specific spot, is just a blurry, low-resolution mess. So how do we function like this? Let's look at Section 3, the brain's deletion tool. Think about it. If your eyes are only giving you a thumbnail of clarity, how on earth do you perceive a seamless, fully detailed room? Well, your brain compensates by taking some super aggressive shortcuts. First, it literally copy-pastes the background just to fill in the blanks. Then it ruthlessly filters out whatever it thinks isn't important. And finally, it completely deletes that filtered data from your awareness. Your brain is basically acting like a frantic, real-time video editor working on a serious deadline. And that leads us to a fascinating, yet kind of terrifying concept called change blindness. This happens when you are looking right at something, staring directly at it. But if your brain decides it doesn't matter to your immediate goals or your survival, it literally deletes it from your conscious awareness. So you aren't just accidentally missing things because you're distracted. No, your brain is actively, purposefully choosing to keep you in the dark. Let's move on to Section 4, living in the past. So because your brain is working overtime to edit your reality, it actually changes when you experience it. An event happens in the real world, sure, but instead of just showing it to you live, your brain is constantly predicting what should happen next. And because of this massive processing workload, all that editing and predicting, your conscious awareness actually arrives on a slight delay, meaning, technically speaking, you are living a fraction of a second in the past just to smooth out the rough edges of reality. All right, let's tie it all together in Section 5, solving the mystery. Let's bring this all the way back to that mysterious feeling of being stared at on the bus. It's not magic, and it's definitely not a superpower. Here's what actually happened. Step 1, your low-resolution peripheral vision picked up a tiny shift in someone's posture or their eyes. Step 2, way before your conscious mind even realized what happened, your brain triggered an automatic deep-seated survival response. And Step 3, to get you to turn around as fast as possible, your brain manufactured a physical sensation. It literally created the illusion of a feeling just to force you to point your high-def foveal vision right at a potential threat. Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, the illusion of reality. You know, this whole biological process perfectly explains why we constantly miss incredibly obvious things right under our noses. So the next time you are frantically running around searching for your keys, only to find them sitting right in front of you on the kitchen counter, hey, don't worry, you aren't losing your mind. Your brain was just running a background update, decided those keys weren't an immediate threat, and actively filtered them right out of your reality. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this really provocative thought straight from our source material. We don't see the world as it is, we see it how our brains think it should look. Honestly, take a second to ponder that. If your mind is constantly guessing, copy-pasting, and aggressively filtering your environment just to get you through the day, what else in your reality is simply an illusion? Keep questioning what you see out there, and thanks for joining me for this explainer.